Hey, welcome to today's video devotional. I'm Pastor Don. Today we're talking about Matthew chapter 6, verse 16 through 18. It's all about fasting and how we should fast. Let's jump into it, read it, and talk about it. And when you fast, don't make it obvious, as the hypocrites do, for they try to look miserable and disheveled, so people will admire them for their fasting. I tell you the truth, that is the only reward they will ever get. But when you fast, comb your hair and wash your face. Then no one will notice that you are fasting except your Father, who knows what you do in private. And your Father, who sees everything, will reward you. You see, fasting, just like praying, just like giving, isn't supposed to be done so other people admire you. It's to be done for God. Fasting, just like praying, allows our heart to become aligned with His. That's the key. Fasting also isn't something that's optional. Jesus doesn't say if you fast, but He says when you fast. So when you fast, do it in a way that only God really knows about it. Once again, I think there's a way to do this in a corporate setting that's important. In fact, in Ezra, we see just this. And there by the Ahava Canal, I gave orders for all of us to fast and humble ourselves before our God. We prayed that He would give us a safe journey and protect us, our children, and our goods as we traveled. For I was ashamed to ask the king for soldiers and horsemen to accompany us and protect us from enemies along the way. After all, we had told the king our God's hands of protection is on all who worship Him. But His fierce anger rages against those who abandon Him. So we fasted and earnestly prayed that our God would take care of us, and He heard our prayer. There are times where we're called to corporate fasting and corporate prayer. It's not, again, for us to be seen by others in the church, but to be seen by God, to align our hearts as a unit, as a corporate unit, to align our hearts with what God wants. Fasting is so important to help us hunger and thirst for God. But it's not always about food. Sometimes fasting could be about things that have a hold on us. Social media, technology, whatever you find to be the other gods in your life, those are the things you fast from. In fact, actually, in 1 Corinthians, Paul talks to married people in this way. He says, "Do not deprive each other of intimate relations unless you both agree to refrain from intimacy for a limited time so you can give yourselves more completely to prayer." Sometimes fasting is about giving up the things that are important to us so that we realize and we remember that God is in control and that God is primary. With everything else stripped away, we still have God. So, my friends, I'm calling us to fast. I'm calling us to come together as a church, corporately and fast for our nation. We have to ask God for protection, for safety, for healing for this country. Let us do our part, not only by voting, but let us do our part by fasting. Let us align our hearts with God's and plead that He show mercy upon us. Join me Monday, November 2nd at 6 p.m. at the church to begin with a prayer time, and then we will fast for 24 hours until 6 p.m. on Tuesday night, day of the election. I hope you can join us. We need to do this. But until then, thank you for joining me. God bless, and I will see you soon.